What's going on, Detroit Lions fans? Monday morning here, Monday, July 29th. Back to work. I'm going to try to get you guys through this work week. I got some good episodes prepared for this week. On top of that, we're getting one step closer, less than 6 weeks away from Detroit Lions playing real football. I know we start some training camp games here in about a week and a half, but this week, Monday, it sucks. Put your iPad on, your whatever you got, your headphones. Tell your boss you're busy listening to some Detroit Lions football talk, guys. Stick around, leave some comments on this episode. I'm going to be talking today about a guy that I've been hearing a lot on Twitter. And again, I have to reiterate, I have not gone to any practices. All the information I'm getting is mostly from Twitter, some clips. I'm kind of just taking the pieces of the puzzle and trying to formulate an opinion based on what I'm hearing and kind of seeing. Now, Maurice Alexander, the wide receiver that we've had on our practice squad for a couple years, standing out so far this year. Early in the season, only about a week into training camp, and we put the pads on today. So Maurice Alexander is a name I've been hearing quite a bit. 5'11", 174 pounds, been on the practice squad for a couple years. He's always been on the bubble, in my opinion, about making this team. Is this the year he makes that jump? The last couple of seasons, like I said, he's been real close. Has he been putting in the work to put it all together? This is a tough roster to make. So it's going to be really tough for him to accomplish making the 53-man roster. So let's take a look at who he's really going to be probably battling with for that last spot. We're going to be talking about guys like Kalif Raymond. Kalif Raymond's probably locked into this roster at least as a kick returner / punt returner, and as well as wide receiver. I like Kalif Raymond as a wide receiver, but I feel like if Maurice Alexander is going to beat him somewhere, it's going to have to be in that wide receiver category. I think he could beat Kalif Raymond in that area, but special teams, I think Leaf is locked in. Maurice Alexander, he did have a punt return touchdown against the New York Giants last year in preseason, but I think Kalif Raymond's just kind of locked in on that special teams at the very least. So if Mo wants to beat him, it's going to have to be in an actual receiver battle, and I do think Mo might have the upper hand in that one. So can he beat guys like DPJ, Traquan Smith, Kalif Raymond? I don't know, man. It's going to be tough. It's going to be real tough for Maurice Alexander to make this team. And I'm pulling for him, but I'm pulling for all my Detroit Lions, man. I want Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes to have to sit in their offices, sit at their desks, and have to make some brutally tough decisions, because we've said on this channel for as long as it's been going on, we're at a point where the Detroit Lions are going to be cutting some players that are really good. We're going to be cutting some guys that will be getting picked up on other teams and being placed on their 53-man roster. It's going to be hard for us to get guys like this on our practice squad because they're so good. We have so much talent. It's finally just a nice luxury that we have as Detroit Lions fans. This is what we've been waiting for a long time, a complete roster. But with that comes some tough decisions when it comes to cuts. So I don't know what Maurice Alexander's chances are of making this team. I would say maybe 40%. If he were on like I don't want to use the Chicago. If he were on like the Tennessee Titans or someone's roster right now in training camp, I think he'd be more locked in to make the team. But with the Detroit Lions, we got Super Bowl aspirations. We have talent from top to bottom on this roster. It's just tough to make this team. I like Maurice Alexander. I've always thought he was a nice little piece. Him and Tom Kennedy are kind of like my practice team guys. I just don't know if he's making this team. He really needs to show out and play some ball in these preseason games, and I've spoken my piece about that. When we're talking wide receivers who are on the bubble, like Maurice Alexander, Tom Kennedy, Traquan Smith, like guys that are really fighting to make this roster, we need good quarterback play in preseason games. This is what I've been talking about with Hendon Hooker. Hendon Hooker's role, his impact, other people's jobs are depending on it, like Maurice Alexander. So when this preseason kicks off on August 8th, I believe is our first preseason game, we need to see some Hendon Hooker playing top-notch level football for the sake of other people. I know Hendon Hooker's safe, but when we're talking about Maurice Alexander, that's what pops into my mind is if I'm Maurice Alexander and I'm trying to make this team, I need high-level quarterback play. I need guys who are going to get the football, not take sacks, not turn the ball over. We need as many reps on offense as possible, and that's going to rely on Hendon Hooker. But I do like Maurice Alexander, but we're actually at a point where even on special teams, it's going to be hard to make this team because we have guys like Germ, Chase Lucas, Stephen Gilmore, we have the biggest special teams weapon, in my opinion, in Sione Vaki. I think even for Mo Alexander to make the team as a special teamer is he's really going to have his work cut out for him. So his chances of making the team are man, 40%, 30% maybe. I don't know, guys. What do you think? Leave it in the comments. There's a lot of people that can make plays on this team. And I think from what I've seen in the small clips from Alexander is what really looks sexy is a couple people have posted the drill where he's doing some handwork where you run like a little 5 yard in and there's 5 tackling dummies and you have to catch the ball in between those tackling dummies and he looks smooth. And then I've seen some clips of him working on his footwork and going through some cone drills, and his feet look incredible. So he's got the feet, he's got the hands. I mean, those are 2 really, really good tools for a wide receiver. How he translates all these drills and all these practices into, I'll call it a real game, even though it's preseason. This is real games for a lot of people. These are guys who are fighting for NFL careers, and Maurice Alexander is in that category. It's going to be tough for him, but if he takes all this drill work, all the stuff he's been putting in, man, his feet and his hands look absolutely incredible. It's got to translate to a football game. You know, the tape don't lie. You can have good workouts, good practices. Game tape is another thing. So I want to see it translate to that. And again, that's going to rely on Hendon Hooker. That's going to rely on Nate Sudfeld, these backup quarterbacks, because my opinion, Jared Goff in the preseason, only thing I want to see you doing is wearing a hoodie and a headset and listening to the plays being called in. Don't need to see Jared Goff, our first string offense at all. Get your reps in these joint practices. Don't need to see the first team offense or defense. Like, we're a team with playoff aspirations, Super Bowl aspirations. Like, let's keep our guys healthy going into the season, week 1 against the Rams. So Maurice Alexander, guys, everything I've been seeing, small clips, small little workouts, nothing crazy, but I just got a good vibe about him. But I feel like he's fighting an uphill battle with how deep this roster is. So leave it in the comments. Let me know how you're feeling about Mo Alexander, guys, and I will be back later with another show. I'll be back later this afternoon with a training camp wrap-up if there's some significant news. So stick around, hit that like button, guys.